change of attire for our umpires. I was quite enjoying the fluorescent pink. They've got their overcoats on. Maybe they're expecting a little bit of drizzle. However, I can confirm that the sun is trying his absolute best to peek through the clouds. It's a little bit unsuccessful. Still yet to see a hint of blue sky on a cloud coverage. However, the players emerge. The two batters, Googe and Carline, to open the batting for Jersey. It'll be very interesting to see who takes the new ball for Nepal as well. We mentioned the England Test coach hunt. We'll be talking about that a little bit later on in the innings. But here's the equation. 251 runs to win from those 300 balls. All 50 overs. Well, they are expected. Whether we'll get through them, we'll come to see. The current time in Jersey is 4:37. As we've been saying, we're going to see a little bit of pace, and then once the 10 overs are gone, we'll then see a little bit more spin and slower bowling, as we saw with Jersey. Who are the two men you'd put out from what you've seen from pace today? The two men on the boundary, who do you reckon they'd be?
The two men on the boundary. Interesting question there. Karen Casey opening the batting. They've obviously gone with quite a attacking field positioning with two slips, gully, backward point. They've only got deep third man and fine leg as he trickles out. So the two fielders are the third man and fine leg who've gone out towards the boundary. This is going to be an interesting matchup between Carline Harrison and Karen CC.
It certainly is. So we've got Karen at the top of his mark doing a few stretches, looking over towards us. He's got a couple of arm sleeves on. And as you mentioned well there, two slips and a gully. And the third man splitting the two. Backward point, cover, mid-off, mid-on. And a huge gap out in the leg side with a deep long leg as well. Here's Karan. First ball is turned into the leg side, and they're going to get a single early on. Very interesting, very aggressive field. Two slips and a gully. Would you say the right play, Kasim?
Yeah, definitely early doors. Brand new ball. Still overcast conditions. Still looking to swing it. It'll definitely get that ball moving. I think as a fielding unit, as a bowling unit, you've got to look to bowl slightly fuller, especially in the first couple of overs. Look to attack. And then you can start adjusting. Then you can start going into your defensive field. But early doors, yeah, 100%.
Well, let's get your thoughts on it. You mentioned about pitching the ball up. We saw plenty of success from Samaroa and Richardson early in the Jersey bowling stint about where they bowled. But here comes Karen again. Edge down through the gap, out towards that third man fielder. So the two slips and the gully seem to be a good play.
That's just gone straight in between gully, left hand position, and second slip right hand, wedged in between, precisely between the two fielders. But that's what I'm talking about. If you can hit the top of the splice of the bat, get your lengths right early doors, which I think Karen will do with his vast experience in playing in different competitions, been around the world. I think he'll be looking to bowl consistently top of the stump line.
Here comes Karen. Again, just back of a length. But just to tuck up batter Carline there as he guides it down to goal for no run. Feels like the length to be bowling again. And this is it's an exciting period here for Nepal. And if they can make a couple of early breakthroughs, going to knock Jersey straight onto the back foot.
Yeah, and that's what you want from a bowling unit. You want to start attacking. You want to get your areas. A bit like the Jersey innings. Just took a couple of overs to get in the right rhythm, in the right areas. Now it's down to the Nepal bowlers to see if they can do the same thing, but look to attack and be more consistent.
Short ball just nipping away. There's that hard length you're talking about there, Kasim.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the type of deliveries that I'm talking about from Karen CC. Having studied him and know him a little bit, that this is the type of length that he'll be consistently operating on. And in comparison to the Jersey bowlers in the first over, I think he's come out more consistent areas. If there's a comparison between the two.
Accurate opening bowler. Can he continue? Again on the money. Brilliant delivery. Did shoot a tiny bit low. There's your motion there, Kasim. However, he's just landing it on the same spot each time. You're absolutely right. Looking back to how the Jersey opening bowlers operated from the start, there's a little bit of width early on, which the opening batters were able to drive through the offside. And Karan hasn't missed his mark just yet.
No, he's been fantastic. And I expect nothing less with his type of bowling experience. Wily contender for Nepal, has been doing it for many years.
Back of a length, pulled away, no fielder out there. One skipping bounce and now halfway up the bank. So Karan does miss his mark. And Carline hits him away to the boundary for 4. 6 for 9 at the end of the over. And how often do we say this? 1-1, ... 4.
Yeah, and it's something we spoke about in the first innings is, can the bowlers actually finish out and get out their overs? You don't want to be leaking what is effectively what should have been a really good over, first over. And I don't think he'll mind that, to be fair. That's a pretty good shot.
So Hemant Dami to take on the proceedings from the far end. Played very well in the latter stages, ticking up past 30 with the bat. Can he get it done with the ball, though? Interesting to see what kind of challenge he possesses. We've seen the height of Samaroa and the pace of George Richardson. We've seen some accuracy there from the opening bowling of man from this end, Karen KC, who's bowling tremendously until that final delivery. Now we get our first sight of Dami. What can he offer from right arm over? That looked as if he almost thought about the Mankad. Whereas Harrison was confidently in his crease, looked up at Hemant and said, "What are you asking about?" Or maybe he just was checking out his run-up. Who knows? How dare I speculate? I see you put the sunnies back on it, Kasim.
Yeah, sun's
Feels
breaking
optimistic.
up. Yeah, absolutely.
Here comes Dami for his first ball. Short, pulled away through the gap. That's going to run away as well. And Patrick Googe learning from the Centurion earlier today. Bertel was brilliant and sharp off the back foot. And Googe and Carline have both showed signs of that already today. 10 for none.
Confident pull shot there from Googe. Looked well in control of that, pulling in front of square. That's a really good, confident shot.
Those short balls. Early on, we were saying how there's a little bit of that tennis ball bounce, which might have suggested that shot be quite hard to get away. But we've seen players now on both sides really attack the short ball and pull it away nicely. Dami for revenge. Googe pushes into the offside. Aggressive fielding, but wasn't able to pick up. So a single off the boundary. Googe moves to 6. How do you reckon the two batters will look to play, especially in this power play? Nepal got off to a pretty good start, but I think Jersey will look to stay aggressive whilst the restrictions are in place, or just positive?
Just positive play. I mean, Harrison's quite an attacking cricketer anyway. It's just the challenge between bat and ball and who can be more consistent and patient. Said that right from the start. It's about keeping your lengths. Obviously, from this end,
edge just past first slip. From our angle, that looked pretty close to him. He definitely went fast. So whether a dive could have happened, we'll never know. But that was very, very close to first slip. A chance?
Definitely. In my books, it was hip height catching, right side. If you're in slips, you've got to put a dive in there. That was sort of 1.5, in my opinion. I think, obviously, we're right behind it. In a really good position to make a comment there.
It did look close. It did go fast. It was a slash, fast bat swing. one down the leg side from Dami. A bit of a chaser. Although no wide given, so I wonder if there might have been a little tickle on the pad way through. That feels like a missed chance there, doesn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't. And like I mentioned before, half chances you have to convert as much as possible. You don't get many full chances at this level, and they don't come consistently often enough. So from a half chance perspective, like that chance there, you've got to try and convert, or at least get a hand to it, make an effort to get to it. You can't just watch it go by, unfortunately.
A riff shake there at first slip. Oh, that one's nipped back with good bounce too. Struck Carline and, well, in the inner thigh. Can't have been too far away. Dami showing some good bowling here. He's bought the edge, so he's beaten Carline on the outside edge now, and he's just beaten him on the inside. So perhaps suggesting some good seam movement from this deck.
Yeah, and we said early on in the first innings that there were going to be some movement off the seam and with a brand new ball, and that's a great example of it there.
Dami will be looking to take a wicket here. He's bowled well this over. Full and a solid defence. Brings him out a single. Well timed up towards mid-off. And that ends the second over. Jersey, 16 for none, going at a good rate, and they're looking very, very good out there, these two.
Yeah, good solid start from the first 2 overs. Very impressed with the opening pair. Harrison picking up 10 runs off 9 balls, and Patrick Gooch 6 off 2. Early doors, good start.
So we'll come to see about that chance of Carline on 9. Can he make Nepal pay? Kasim and I both in agreement that it would have been a tricky chance, but a dive could definitely have been put in, and it wouldn't have been too far away from Arif Sheikh at first slip. Carline then to face strike. I've just been motioned to the cameraman to my left. I think he might have taken a shot with the ball well out of diving range. So interesting. Maybe we're being harsh. Who knows? Karen KC starts again on the money. Found his length very early on in his spell. Last ball was dispatched. However, he'll be looking to hone back in throughout this entire over, especially on that final ball.
Yeah, and he's, again, great start from the first delivery. Looking to target the 4th stump line, hip height, exactly where you want it. Bring your slips into play. He's got 2 slips and a gully.
Carline squatting low. Leaves that alone. He looks like he's a player that can get into a brilliant position for a cover drive. When a batter shapes up quite low in his stance, suggests that they're almost waiting to get on the front foot and pounce on any bit of full length.
Yeah, and got a great set of hands. Explosive batter, really looks to pick length up really early, and he can be very destructive when he gets going.
Nepal fans that have remained through the rain delays. Good length, just flow of the hands outside the off stump. Beating the bat of Harrison. Although he's got off to a quick start, he's still early in his innings, and we saw this from the Nepalese opening batters as well, didn't we? Plenty of play and misses early doors.
Yeah, we did. And if anything, the lad who played a miss early does went and got 100. So if that's anything to go by, he's in good company. But credit to Karen KC who's putting the ball in the right areas, asking the questions from the batter. Now it's just about being patient.
Better that time from Carline, getting solidly in behind it, playing under his eyes. And just on the Nepalese fans out there, a little bit quieter, but I'm sure they'll be incredibly noisy if a wicket falls anytime soon. Their support has been felt by this team. travelling out to Jersey. Still a swift wind from right to left as the bowler runs in. Nice drive out to cover. Good shot for no run, though. Also just picking up on the man who played a miss slightly at the start of his innings and went on to get a ton. It was much better than that, by the way. He was 3 off about 15 at the start. He played carefully. He was patient. And then just up the rate gradually throughout his knock and finished on a fine 100. So Jersey can go through the occasional slow spell. Wow, that's not slow. It's just been stuck into the ramp. Pounced on the short length from Harrison. And Carline obliterates it over the leg side boundary for 6. What a shot.
And exactly what we're talking about here. Strong, fast hands, great cricket shot, picked up length really early and just absolutely ripped into it. And what a fantastic shot. Gone for 6, halfway up the banking. And that's really showing his presence on the 2 opening bowlers there. And again, from Karen CC's point of view, leaking a boundary off the last ball of the over again. I'm sure that's going to play on his mind.
So it wasn't long ago in Jersey's ICC Men's T20 World Cup sub-regional European qualifiers. We're in their final group game against Croatia. They notched up 280 for 3 with Carline scoring 83 or 42. Googe this time, pulls straight to mid-wicket. Catch taken. And now the noise comes from the fans. Googe looks up, dejected as he trudges off back to the pavilion. Only faced 3 balls for his 6. Looks to pounce another short ball and hit it straight to mid-wicket. First wicket goes 22 for 1.
Yeah, what's your strength can often be a weakness as well. And unfortunately, he didn't quite get hold of that as well as he liked. It's gone straight to mid-wicket. A relatively soft dismissal in the eyes of a batter, especially when in the last over you absolutely smashed that ball to the boundary. But unfortunately, that's the first wicket for Jersey down. Patrick Googe goes for 6 or 4.
Yeah, it's a shame because lovely pull shot through the leg side, and as you mentioned, he went for another one and was caught mid wicket. But the man who was brilliant with the ball, going at around 4 runs and over for his 10, finished with a couple of wickets to his name, including the big wicket of Kushal Patel on 105. In comes Nick Greenwood. Number 3, genuine all-rounder, brilliant with the ball earlier today, and now he looks to try and take on the Nepal opening bowlers. Well, Nepal lost their first wicket at 26 for 1. That was off 6.2 overs. And Jersey on 22 for 1 at the start of the 4th. And got there quicker, but there's still a wicket down. So Greenwood looking to stabilise the ship. And Dammy at the top of his mark is looking for another. What do you reckon was the cause of the dismissal there? Do you reckon was that just a poor bit of timing or maybe a bit of too pace in the pitch?
I think 2 things for me. 1, the ball's rushed on him very, very quickly.
Struck on the pad. Little appeal here. Umpire remains unmoved. Dammy bowling very, very nicely.
And secondly, if we're looking at the technicality of it, I just don't think he's extended his hands through the ball. I think he's just got caught just short arm jabbing it, which tells you he's late on the ball, which means he's been rushed up by the delivery. So, there's that skiddy pace that might have come on, and it was a well-directed bouncer in terms of, height-wise. So, fantastic.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It was the way it popped up off the bat suggested that it might have been a little bit high up, potentially off the stickers with a bit of extra skiddy pace. This one's left alone, closer to the stumps than I think Greenwood might have thought it was going to be. But Dami is bowling with class. He's bowling good pace and good areas as well.
Yeah, impressive. He's done well, and he almost as he runs in, you can tell there's some real momentum behind him as he's looking to attack the crease. And nice rhythmic, smooth action. Very front on in terms of his delivery. Bowls it really, really well.
Driven down the ground. The timing is sweet. And it's a good diving stop from the fielder, sliding it mid-on. It's a good shot there by Greenwood. Still showing that this pitch has pace in it. There's runs on offer. I can't help but feel with the score that Patel was able to get and with the style he played with, that 250 feels under par.
Yeah, I totally agree there, Charlie. In terms of 250, I mean, had Kushal stayed in, maybe they would have probably got up to that 275, 290 mark. But I would probably say from the rest of the batters, it's probably been a disappointing contribution.
So I think there's one thing I forgot was the rain break did affect Nepal. And yes, you'd expect a team of this caliber to be able to cope with that. Going in 2 wickets down, 20 overs to go. It felt like the start of, well, the beginning of the uptick in run rates. However, you are right, especially from the position they were in and some of the stroke play that was seen from the Nepal batters. It does feel under par. However, you don't know until both sides battle it. Well, that's what they say at least. As Dami's in. Very, very full. And pounced on by Greenwood. Whipped out towards square leg for a 4. It does feel, just as we said, I think it was you that said it, Kasim, about limiting the boundary ball. Jersey got very, very good towards the end of their bowling innings. They dried up the boundaries for Nepal. It was when they made the breakthrough of Kushal Patel at the top of the order, they started to really prevent boundaries well. And Nepal, they're bowling good at the minute, but they are leaking the old boundary.
They are, and it seems to be like the last ball of every over, or second to last ball of every over. So it is notable in terms of what's been delivered, as Jersey race up to 31 for the loss of 1 wicket off their 3 overs.
So a good rate for Jersey, but the 1 wicket of Patrick Googe to fall. And let's see if Karen Casey can get a wicket on his score sheet. Edge through the gap again. That's the second time an edge has gone through that 4th slip area. It's been fielded by Dami at deep third. I wonder if, well, I reckon Karen's bowling well enough that you might even be able to take out fine leg and stock up mid-wicket. Maybe just he's dropping the odd one short that is pulled away, but it's in front of square. I'm not sure how needed that fine leg is, because I'm pretty confident with the way that Karen's bowling that he might not drift one down the leg side. It's more just there for contingency, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an old school method of having fine leg out deep. If anything,
chance for non-strikers. If that hit, that would have been close. Good backing up from the Nepal fielder.
Yeah, they're known to be quick fielders. If anything, if you're going to look to be really attacking, and I'll put my attacking hat on, I'd probably bring third man into gully and leave third man open, have 3 slips, leave fine leg either out that way or bring him across and really plug in that gap, because he's not, dare I say, thrown one down leg side just yet. He has that control. And if you look at second slip, he is relatively very, very close to first slip here.
Well, Gully moves into third. Karen bowls, and again, causing a tricky shot there from the batter.
It's very tight slip cord in that. Very tight.
Yeah, and third man pushes wider, so just on the third shoulder of that, the right shoulder, sorry, of the third slip. Ringfield on the offside. I reckon they're having that discussion now, Kasim. The skipper has come in to have that chat with Karan. They're going to stick with it, though. Good length. Harrison Carlisle keeps it out. Not in the most convincing fashion. But this feels like it's going to be non-stop, this, from Nepal. Two good opening bowlers, and then they've got the several options of spin to turn to.
Yeah, they haven't. And what I really like about Carney, he's looking to square up Harrison here. And if he's not careful, he'll end up squaring himself up too soon, end up causing that little nick out towards the slip of the keeper, especially with the length and line that's been bowled.
There it is again. Just past the outside edge.
Just like that.
It's the right hip, isn't it? It's the squaring up of Carlisle. It's funny. He's a player that has looked in command one shot, and then the next ball has just beaten him. So Karen, with a wry smile at the top of his mark, looks up to the sky, praying for an edge this time. Well, let's see if he can get one. And there's the lead. Calmness is back. And that's the end of the over then. 30 for 1 Jersey of 5 overs, going at a solid rate. And they've got to make sure they keep the wickets in hand, because if they do, they'll win the game.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the key in the first 15 overs, I reckon, to get a major platform in place. Less wickets, if any, after the one that's already gone down. Try and build up on, a decent score and a decent platform. Look out to play the spin, because you're going to get a lot of spin. And have a really good game plan to attack the spinners. That's where I would be looking to sort of get my message across.
So 2 slips in. Inside edge, pops up off the thigh pad into an area where short leg would be waiting. A very rare position in this format. Picked up by Sompal Kami, who took the catch of Patrick Googe in the 4th over. And both bowlers here for Nepal causing a threat. The wind picks up. Notes begin to flutter. Back of a length, edge, and gone. Greenwood has to go. There was a cut outside the off stump. A little bit of extra bounce, a little bit of extra pace. And Hemant Dami has been asking that question for a while now. Brought the edge a couple of overs ago, which just went past Arif at first slip. This one goes into the keeper's gloves. Second wicket, Jersey 30 for 2. And all of a sudden, they're in a little bit of trouble here. Dami deserved that wicket. He's got his second. He's 2 for 16. And Karen at the other end, they're bowling very well in a partnership.
Yeah, he's looked impressive, hasn't he? Dami. Ball good areas, 16 runs conceded for the 2 wickets that he's gained off his 2.1 overs. An important wicket of Greenwood, who's looking to cut the ball or maybe uppercut it just with the shape of the bat, but was got the big neck straight into the keeper's gloves, and he's looked impressive.
Yeah, he has. That was Asif with the catch, but now it's the main man, player of the match in Jersey's last game, with a not out 50 in the final of their sub-regional T20 World Cup qualifiers. 54 not out and 2 for 10 from his 3, Zach Tribe. We didn't see him bowl today, but he's facing up the jersey number 4. Hooping in swing. He turns safely into the leg side. First amount of real swing I've seen today, I think.
Yeah, if anything, it's probably going with the shoulder. So coming in with the shoulder, I would probably like to see a square leg in, just to sort of cut that easy option out. And I've maybe from sort of cover, bring one across, open the gap up if he's looking to go through the offside, especially with that movement coming back into the pads.
Yeah, I think that's a good call, because playing with that angle seems relatively straightforward, and with no fielder at all in that area, could even be an easy 4. We saw Greenwood put one away nicely in the previous dummy over.
Yeah, you don't want to give an easy option out at this stage of the game, especially with the way he's bowling. That's an easy release into leg side, especially with the arm coming in, pace on into the thigh pad. You'd want to cut that area out.
Mid wicket, it's slightly square in how it feels. Edge caught, brilliant catch. And after a reef, maybe didn't dive for a potential chance from Carlisle. This time he puts in the dive and takes a brilliant catch, low down to his right, got the 2 hands to it. And after waxing lyrical about Zach Tribe, he now has to go. Jersey are in turmoil here at 30 for 3. We're not even past the 6 over mark. 2 wickets in the over for Hemant Dami, and he's got all 3 of them. He's 3 for 16 in under 3 overs. Jersey in huge amounts of trouble now.
Yeah, and I think from a bowling perspective, the last ball's jagged back in, or the one before that's jagged back in. So potentially, if you're looking to bowl them deliveries coming back in with the arm, with the shoulder, and then he's held one up, took the outside of the edge, went straight into first slip's hands, who's actually finally put a dive in. It's great effort. So it's quite clear he can dive. But a great pair of hands, good catch. And like you said, 30 for 3 under 6 overs is not looking good for Jersey.
No, and it's what Nepal did well, is that despite losing the early wicket, the number 3 came in. It was Bim, who batted well, looked to just pick up singles. Yes, the odd boundary came, but they were looking pretty intent throughout their innings, and they steadied the ship well. However, now it's Jonty Jenner coming in at number 5. And he's still got 2 balls of this over. It's funny, we hardly saw a single edge from a Nepal batter, and it seems like the ball from the Nepal bowlers have been glued to the edge. Bowled! 2 in 2 for Hemant Dami. Jonty Jenner leaves the in-swinger. And we mentioned how much hoop he was getting back in towards the stumps. And it's clattered into the wooden sticks. And Jonty Jenner's got to go. And now there's going to be scrambling around in the pavilion. They'll be looking for the pads and gloves to be able to get kitted out in time. Jonty Jenner's got to go for a first ball duck. 3 wickets from the over. He's heading towards a triple wicket maiden and a hat-trick ball. Hemant Dami, look at those figures, 4 for 16.
It's all happening here, isn't it? Hey, who would have thought? Rain break and everything. Got wickets, first 6 overs, got swing, got edges off the bat, even got a diving catch. Everything's happening.
That is incredible. And Dami has bowled with so much pace and threat. And that is indeed the end of the over. So we're going to have to wait around for our hat-trick ball. And Dami, I would say he's deserved every single one of those 4 wickets. He's bowled with class.
Yeah, he has. And that's what I'm talking about. If you can be consistent of the hip height, sort of fourth wicket line, delivery, and you can target the 5 to 7 meters at this level consistently. Contrast comparison to the first innings, they've been stuck at it for longer periods, and they've duly got the rewards for it.
Can Karen get in on the act? I like these. Pretty bold call after seeing your teammate leave one.